I'm Tyrone McGoldrick and I study art and design for Southwest College. It was just to create ceramic pieces, either functional or non-functional, and I went for non-functional. We had to do a pinch pop, wrap mold and various other things, including experimental, create more unique pieces in the ceramic world. As an artist, you have to have a creative world in your head, and it could be very broad or narrow. But when it comes to ceramics, it has to be it's phenomenal. Like before I came here, I would rather sit alone, do my work, and not pay attention to other people. But coming here, the lectures and the friendships I said I made along the way, they really help. And a lot of these ideas wouldn't have seen the light of day if it wasn't for people I met here in my lectures. I've really enjoyed here. It's absolutely amazing. Definitely, I feel like I have a lot more potential now, because if you told me I had to do ceramics, I wouldn't have liked it. But now that I've been able to give it a try and give it a go, it's amazing. I enjoy it, every minute of it.
My name is Alice Small and I study art and design in Omagh, Southwest College. My favourite thing doing this year was definitely my textile unit at Christmas, and then also my ceramics unit in February to now, and I just really enjoyed them because it was something that I could be experimental with, and I really like colour and I could tell a story through my pieces, so I like that. And this was our first ever ceramics piece topic, so you had to just explore the different elements to ceramics and the different ways to make ceramic pieces, and you had to show that you could use the techniques in your pieces, and you were simply just given whatever topic you wanted to do. And I have a great interest in nature, so I wanted to show that. And something like nature, it's very vast. You can do like nature, you can do fruit, forests, vegetables, all that there type of stuff. It all goes into one, so that's why I decided to do that. And you make a collection of pieces throughout the year, and then you have a final piece at the very end. With art in general, what I find is you have the final piece at the very end, but because you make so many pieces on the way, you get to figure out what you can work with and what you don't like. So for me, when I was doing my final piece, I was sure that I knew what the glazes would come out like, how to use every technique, which I really liked. So and a lot of it is down to planning. Like in my sketchbook, it's been really thick, this topic, because you do so much writing and so much research to make sure that it's going to be just perfect. I learned a lot that you have to plan it and then do it, which I found actually helped me, because it meant that I was having less mistakes because I had planned it out. And I think in general this will help me out. I want to go on and do fashion, but in art everything kind of joins together. So now I've learned the whole idea of planning through ceramics, so I can bring that forward in fashion.
My name is Ronan O'Brien and I'm studying an art and design course here at college. Our brief was to create a sort of sculpture that one might use at a sort of festival as a display. We were tasked to make a prototype that would display at it. I chose to mainly focus my work around mythology and the stories that they tell for my sculptures. I think it's mostly just trying to help us see what type of work we can end up doing. Like sculptures can help us move on to, if we want to end up being a sculptor, to see what type of time constraint we'd have to work under, the materials that we'd have to end up using. It was really fun doing it too. We sort of learned all the different techniques and materials that we can work with when it comes to sculptures, like mod rock and wires. A lot of it's very difficult to use unless you know what sort of equipment that you need, what sort of times that it needs to dry and stuff like that. I definitely think it's made me better at it, better at being an artist, because beforehand I would have said that just plain sketching was probably my best, just what I'm best at. Now I think more along the lines of me being good at practical work, working with my hands, would probably be my best forte with stuff like this.